is filet mignon time. This is one of my favorite cuts of steak. I do fillets all the time. They're up on the site, YouTube channel. What we're gonna do tonight with this king of steaks cut, super tender, so yummy. We're just gonna pan sear, pan roast it, and then show you how to do a blue cheese butter crust on it. Butter, on the filet, it's a common steakhouse trick to make it taste absolutely fabulous. Add a few calories, yes, of course, but add a ton of flavor. I'm going to go ahead and take the butter. We're going to mix in some blue cheese in there, which is just a salty, tangy, wonderful kind of sauce, kind of crust to the filet. Really simple to do. It's going to absolutely wow yourself, your guests, everybody. Let's go ahead and show you how it's done. All right, let's go ahead and make our blue cheese crust for our filet. I'm going to go ahead. You can make it like hours ahead of time. Throw it in the fridge. You can even keep it out. It'll be absolutely fine. I'm using Gorgonzola for my blue. You can use whatever you want. I happen to love Gorgonzola. I think the taste is awesome. To add even more flavor, butter, because butter is awesome. I'm going to mix it in. The butter kind of helps it all just kind of melt right over that filet. Mix it together, throw it aside, and we're good to go. All right, check it out here. We've got 3 fillets here. We got the big old daddy filet. We got my wife's filet. And then this little tiny guy. My kids don't really love steak, so we're giving them the super junior cut here. Doesn't really matter the size. All 3 of them we're going to liberally season with salt and pepper. You want to get kind of all sides nice and crusted. We're also going to let them come up to room temperature during the stage, and then season them about 10 minutes or so before we're ready to cook them off. All right, cooking our filet is super easy here. I've got a nice heavy gauge pan on the flame. It's already hot. You got to get it really kind of smoking hot. Lay some olive oil down the bottom there, and then we're going to lay our fillets in there. They're all about the same thickness, but this little one will take a little bit less time to cook. I've also preheated the oven to 450 degrees. All right, so if you don't have one of these covers, by the way, go ahead and get one. They're great for keeping the splatter down. Our fillets have been going now for about 4 minutes. I haven't touched them, and that's how you get this nice, beautiful sear. Check that out. Nice golden brown crust on that side. You don't flip around. You don't do anything. You just let them go. Flip the pan over. You can toss the pan or shift it just so the oil kind of spreads out a little bit. And we're going to sear the second side of these steaks for another 2 or 3 minutes. All right, so our second side has been going now for about 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes or so. And you can see that underside just as brown as our first side. That's where a ton of flavor comes from, that nice crust, salty, peppery flavor, yummy. If your pan's a little dry, mine's a little dry, add a little bit more olive oil. And then we're going to take this whole pan, oven-proof of course, and move it into the oven. All right, so this is where the art kind of meets the science. I had my fillets in the oven for about 7 or 8 minutes or so. Mine's reading like 128, which is pretty good. For me, that's nice medium rare. The smaller one, as you saw, a little bit higher, perfect. The kids like theirs, a little more well done. And we've got our blue cheese butter here. I had mine out. I took it out. Make sure it's softened, not like right out of the fridge. And just go ahead and smear it, smother it, lather it, whatever you want to call it, all over the fillets. Again, I'm going to spare the kids. They're not crazy about the blue cheese. My wife and I are. No need to put this back in the oven. The residual heat from the steaks is just going to melt that butter and cheese right all over the steak. Okay, let the steaks rest in the pan for just like 3 or 4 minutes. I'm going to pull them out of the cutting board and just let them rest for another 2 minutes or so. Get them all perfectly rested. All right, guys, moment of truth. You can see how our blue cheese butter just kind of melted all over this wonderful filet. We're going to cut it open. Hopefully our temperature was right. We see a nice medium rare, which is what I like. That's absolutely perfect. Ton of flavor. I hope you enjoyed this filet, and I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required. All right, this filet was absolutely spectacular. That blue cheese and butter is savory, tangy, absolutely wonderful, unctuousness. And this is the perfect steak to do it with because the filet is a little bit lean and that extra fat from the butter. Oh, it's absolutely spectacular. Go ahead, check out my other filet links. We got peppercorn sauces in there, different ways to do the filet, grilled filet. Absolutely spectacular. Hey, and you need something to go with those steaks, so here's my link to all my steak sides. Check them out, potatoes, vegetables, you got them all. And one last favor, don't forget to subscribe. That's how I make my money, so go ahead, click the link over here, subscribe, and you'll see a new video at least every 2 weeks or so, trying to get them up as much as I can.